What's up, Spartan Nation? It's Jacob Katzanik here, back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. It is Friday, November 7th, 2025. Big game coming up for Michigan State basketball. Number 22 MSU against number 14 Arkansas. That game's going to tip off at about 7 p.m. on Fox, nationally televised game. So again, even though it's on a college football Saturday, you're gonna be able to watch that. There's gonna be plenty of eyeballs on this one all around. So big game for Michigan State's season. I think we're gonna talk about the impact today that this result could have on Michigan State and their season as a whole. Because again, it's early in the year, but there's 31 games, I believe, in the regular season. Generally, you're going to play about 35, 36 games in a season at Michigan State, where maybe you win a conference tournament game or two, and then obviously you have the NCAA tournament. Again, it's 27 straight. If NCAA tournament bids now, I think, for the Spartans now, trying to keep that streak going. But this is going to be a big one. As far as just down the line in March, I think we're going to be talking about this result. This game is going to be a part of that discussion, I think, for Michigan State down the line a little bit, because this is a chance to get a resume win. I think Arkansas is going to be a pretty good team. They're number 14 in the ranking, so it's not really a hot take here. But looking at their roster, they've got some really, really talented players. And the SEC is a really strong basketball conference now, as is the Big Ten. I'm not going to debate on that at the moment, which conference is better, but nevertheless, this is the Big Ten, SEC, two of the best basketball conferences, two of the best conferences in general. But they got five-star freshman Darius Acuff, scored 22 points during their season opener. They've got TJ Wagner. He was a five-star. He's a junior now. Brazil, he's a fifth-year senior who had a really good season opening game for Arkansas. They've got Pringle, who will probably be running the five for them. He's a sixth-year senior guy who has kind of benefited from both the COVID year, and the JUCO rule, kind of one of those players where should they be playing college basketball? Maybe not, but you can't really call him out on that, because you could say the exact same thing about Michigan State's Trey Fort, who has played JUCO basketball, and again, he's a sixth-year senior as well. But nevertheless, just a talented roster. They had one of the best recruiting classes in the country coming into this one. I think they were number 5, top 5 nationally, depending on where you look at it, right around that type of range. Again, multiple 5-star additions for the Razorbacks, but again, this is going to be the first real, actual litmus test about how Michigan State kind of matches up against a real quality opponent. There's going to be plenty other opportunities for Michigan State to try and go get wins. They got Duke coming into the Breslin Center in December. They're going to play North Carolina. They're going to play Kentucky. And then you obviously have all the Big Ten games where that's where you really build your resume up with getting wins there. But conference wins can be very important. Getting seeding a little bit up in terms of get a better seed, weaker opponents in the first 2 rounds of the tournament. Here, say again, it'll almost certainly be considered a quad 1 game. You don't really get dinged for losing quad 1 games very much unless you lose so many of them to only so many wins. Again, life in the Big Ten, you're probably going to be playing 12 or 13 or 14 probably at least quad 1 games, because most of the teams, you're just playing almost every Big Ten team on the road. That's 10 games right there. You're going to probably have 8 or 9 of those be quad 1 games, and then obviously the ranking has to be a bit higher when they come to East Lansing. And again, a team like Michigan's probably going to be high enough to be a quad 1 game. I think Illinois should be. Again, the net isn't my favorite ranking system, but it matters. It matters to the selection committee. But again, Arkansas, good team. If Michigan State can get this win, this game feels like it's going to be a tone setter, because you get this one, and the rest of the non-conference schedule doesn't look so spooky anymore. Because I think Arkansas is going to be I think Arkansas is going to be at least comparable to several other teams on the schedule. I already went over them. Kentucky, Again, John Calipari's, old stomping grounds and stuff like that. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out the rankings here. Kentucky's got to be highly ranked. Yeah, they're number 9, higher. That's on a neutral court, Champions Classic. So that's obviously going to be a little more tough. You got North Carolina, who just squeaked into the top 25, number 25. And then, of course, really the big one, Duke. They're at number 6 in the poll. So, again, that's just big stuff upcoming. Duke's the second highest ranked team on Michigan State's schedule. The only team that's higher is Purdue. Michigan State has to go to Mackey this year. I don't think they come to the Breslin this season. Again, going other Big Ten teams, Michigan's number 7 right now. UCLA's 12. They come into the Breslin this year. And let's see, some more. Illinois 17. And yeah, Wisconsin's 24 as well. So again, this big expanded Big Ten. You're going to see plenty of really good to solid teams. Plenty of other teams in the Big Ten are in the receiving votes category. Oregon just missed out on being ranked. Ohio State got some votes. USC got some votes. Washington got some votes. Iowa got some votes. I think Iowa's going to be good. I think the Ben McCollum hire is one of the best of the cycle. And Indiana got a singular vote. But, they're in year 1 of a new era as well over there. Again, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to build your resume. If Michigan State loses this game, I'd be a little. I think Michigan State is going to win once I do officially predict this game. I do anticipate myself predicting Michigan State winning because this game is in East Lansing, because the home court advantage at the Breslin Center is large. It's not a relatively quick trip from Arkansas. You're not flying cross country. It's not a big time difference, but Arkansas hasn't played. Bud Walton is a really good arena, but there's plenty of great atmospheres in the SEC. But for these 5-star freshmen, they haven't played in an atmosphere like this. They haven't played I'm sure I haven't watched too much of their game against Southern, but can't imagine it's going to be as loud in that arena as it is going to be in East Lansing on Saturday, because you're going to always kind of have a muted crowd when you're playing Southern. It's kind of like how it was a kind of mute. It gets loud no matter who you're going to play, but the atmosphere when Michigan State plays Colgate is going to be a lot different when Duke comes into town, or when Arkansas comes into town, or when Michigan comes into town. There's just different levels of atmospheres, and where the crowd, there's a real challenge here. And on the other thing is just Izzo doesn't really lose home games in the month of November. Only one of them throughout his entire career, which is still an insane stat. Again, lost to JMU a couple years ago, but it's 85-1, something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it's just it's going to be a big atmosphere. Guys like Darius Acuff, they haven't played in a hostile environment like this before. I'm sure they've gotten heckled at high school games, but it's a much bigger arena and a much bigger student section than they've ever seen. Where again, Izzo goes all the way around the court, which is part of what makes it almost the way they have the little section as well that you can't really see on TV, but pretty much all the way around the court you got the Izzo. So again, big time atmosphere upcoming. Excuse me again. Big time atmosphere coming up in East Lansing. Yeah, but just to say, if they lose this game, it's not the end of the world. If they get crushed by 20 per se, I don't think that's going to happen. Say that happens, yeah, maybe you hit the alarm bells, you ring the alarm bells a little bit, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, they're not going to make the tournament, this isn't a tournament team, until they really show me otherwise. Say that, if they lose a random game to, San Jose State or Detroit Mercy, then you can get really worried. But until there's a pattern here where it's this isn't looking like it's going to be a tournament resume unless this, and this happens, you got to assume, I think this is a 5 or 6 seed type team. I don't think it's going to be as good of a team as it was last year. I wouldn't anticipate a real serious Big Ten title run. I didn't anticipate that last year, though. I don't think many people did. Even Izzo was we weren't the most talented team in the Big Ten last year, but they made it happen. They won by 3 games. 17-3 is a pretty dominant Big Ten record. So again, you never know. That's why they play the games. It's going to be, but I really am looking forward to it. I love these games being on campus when MSU goes into Fayetteville next year, I believe. I can't remember the exact details of the home and home. It has to be a home and home, but that's going to be a really fun one as well because Bud Walton's a really good atmosphere as well, one of the more underrated ones in the country, I think. So just a big game for Michigan State. This is the chance to kind of make a statement, though. Like, we are back. Like, if they go and win this game by double digits, you can send that message to the AP voters, to committee members. I mean, they're a long ways away from talking about putting a bracket together, but that sends a message where we're still Michigan State. Tom Izzo's still Tom Izzo. He's already making that statement on the recruiting trail, as I'm sure you've seen the headlines. But Michigan State is still Michigan State, one of the top programs in the country. We were good last year, and we are good again here. Again, after they do play, go up against Arkansas, the schedule doesn't ease off on them the entire year. You go play San Jose State next Thursday, but then it's Kentucky, one more home game. Then you go out to Florida, and you got East Carolina, which isn't not a bad mid-major to play. Again, the American Conference is pretty decent. You got North Carolina. You have that game against Iowa, who, again, I think what might surprise a few people this year. And then Duke. The schedule's difficult besides, like, the only time there's, like, a truly easy stretch of, like, 3 games is, like, around Christmas when it's, like, Toledo, Oakland, and Cornell. And then you get into all the Big Ten games. But for now, though, it's going to be a long season. There's 30 regular season games left. Never a great idea to overreact too much to one result, but this will be a big result. Don't get it twisted. Until then, though, I am Jacob Katzanika. Thank you for listening, or watching, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to listen to me talk about your Michigan State Spartans. Continue to check back here and visit Michigan State Spartans on SI, SpartanNation.com, for all of our written content, plenty of it every single day, and I'll see you guys around.